Dear students, greetings. I am Professor Archana Kaushik from the Department of Social Work, University of Delhi, Delhi. I welcome you all to the course titled Professional Social Work and Its Values, which is a part of first semester of Bachelor of Social Work online program initiated by Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. In this module, we are going to discuss about two important concepts: social security and social welfare. After completing this unit, the students will be able to know the meaning and definitions of the concepts like social security and social welfare, examine the similarity and relation between these two concepts, locate the distinguishing features between these terms, and understand the significance of these notions for social work teaching and practice. Let us first understand the term social security. The word security means freedom from danger or risk. Sense of security is one of the basic needs of humans. Everyone wants protection against any kind of unforeseen event which may endanger his or her safety and threaten the continuity of his or her income. And this security has been guaranteed to people through various kinds of institutions. Initially, this security was being provided through the institution of joint family and occupational guilds and caste system in India. But in the course of time, these basic social institutions started disintegrating. It was realized by enlightened people that some deliberate efforts were required to be made at the level of society to ensure security to the people. It was for the first time in 1935 in England that a pioneer, Sir William Beveridge, came forward with the idea of social security as means of freedom against 5 great giants, and these are want, disease, ignorance, idleness and squalor. Since then, social security has become a crucial domain of study and practice. In the contemporary society, social security has become very important because of various reasons. First, the traditional social institutions of joint family, caste, occupational guilds, etc. are not able to provide the needed security. Second, there has been a revolution in science and technology leading to emergence of global village and promotion of tendency among people to frequently move and even migrate from one place to other part of the world. Frequent occurrence of accidents, even those which are fatal, and exposure to various kinds of diseases including occupational diseases also increased. All these expose people to varied risks. Third, there has been a sea change in values and orientations of people, from collectivism to individualism, from spiritualism to materialism and so on. The notion of consumerism has taken over the feeling of interdependence and concern for fellow beings. Hence, majority of people today lack in desired sensitivity, empathy and care for others. Fourth, there is a sizable section of society which is illiterate, unemployed and poor, leading to subhuman and insecure life. In social work literature, social security as defined by Sir William Beveridge in 1942 has special significance. The term social security is used to denote the security of an income to take the place of earning when they are interrupted by unemployment, sickness or accident, to provide loss of support to the death of another person and to meet exceptional expenditures such as those concerned with birth, death and marriage. The International Labour Organization 1942 defines social security as the security that society furnishes through appropriate organization against certain risks to which its members are exposed. According to Friedlander, in 1963, by social security, we understand a program of protection provided by society against those contingencies of modern life like sickness, unemployment, old age, dependence, industrial accident and invalidism, against which the individual cannot be expected to protect himself and his family by his own ability or foresight. The National Commission on Labour in India in 1969 maintains social security envisages that the members of a community shall be protected by collective action against social risks causing undue hardship and deprivation to individuals whose private resources can seldom be adequate to meet them. Thus, we define social security as the collective endeavours made by people in the society to protect as the matter of right their brothers and sisters against various kinds of unforeseen situations called contingencies, such as biological like maternity, economic such as unemployment and bioeconomic like old age, which imperil their working capacity and disrupt their continuity of income and thereby impair their ability to support themselves and their dependent family members with decency and dignity, and which cannot face by utilizing their own as well as dependents' resources. Major characteristic features of social security are: social security is the security deliberately provided by making collective efforts by people in society in an organized manner as a matter of right. Second, this security protects against different types of contingencies or unforeseen situations which may confront people from cradle to grave, from birth to death. Third, these contingencies may be purely biological, such as maternity, or they may be purely economic, such as unemployment, or they may be bioeconomic, such as superannuation, retirement, etc. Fourth, these contingencies imperil the working capacity of people and disrupt the continuity of income and impair their ability to lead a decent and dignified life for themselves as well as dependents of their family members. Fifth, it is not possible for common people in society to effectively face the challenges thrown by these contingencies by utilizing their own as well as their dependents' private resources. Sixth, collective endeavours made may or may not require the beneficiaries to contribute, may be very nominally for the benefits which they may avail of in the case of occurrence of certain specific kinds of contingencies. Seventh, social security benefits may be in the form of cash or kind or both. Eighth, social security is both a mental state and objective fact. In order to provide proper protection to people against contingencies, it is necessary that they should have confidence that benefits adequate in quality and quantity will become available whenever required. There are two major forms of social security: social insurance and public or social assistance. Social insurance is financed by the contributions which are normally shared between the employers, workers, with the participation of the state in the form of supplementary contribution and other subsidies from the general revenue. Typical example is pension and retirement benefits given to government employees on their superannuation. The worker's contribution in this regard is determined based on his or her income levels, and it is accumulated in a special fund. The person's right to benefit is secured by his or her own contribution without any test of needs or means. Public or social assistance may be given in cash or in kind or both to enable people to meet the existing actual needs and to lead a minimum desirable standard of living. Examples are old age pension, widow pension, scholarships to poor students, etc. A certain difference between public and social assistance is that public assistance is provided through the state exchequer after assessing the existing actual need and ensuring that prospective beneficiaries fulfill certain prescribed eligibility requirements, including those related to family responsibility and observance of morality. Social assistance is provided to indigent people considered to be eligible according to certain specific criteria to enable them to satisfy their basic minimum needs. Understanding the concept of social security is essential for the professional and social workers as they work for promoting human and social development, increasing people's active participation in various types of programs directed towards guaranteeing a minimum desirable standard of living to everyone. In case people's continuity to income is threatened and their capacity to work is impaired, they will not be able to satisfy their own minimum needs. With social security provisions, they will not only be able to extend support to their family dependents but also perform their social roles effectively. Let us understand what the term social welfare connotes. All civilized societies throughout the globe have been praying for the well-being of the entire mankind. In India, our sages longed for "may all be happy" and worked for devising such institutions as could promote the welfare of all. Derived from welfaren, the term welfare means the state or condition with regard to good fortune, health, happiness, prosperity, etc. Das Gupta in 1976 states that by welfare we refer to the entire package of services, social and economic, that deal with income support, welfare provisions and social security on the one hand, and view of the whole range of social services on the other. Friedlander in 1963 has defined social welfare as the organized system of social services and institutions designed to aid individuals and groups to attain satisfying standards of life and health, and personal and social relationships which permit them to develop their full capacities and to promote their well-being in harmony with the needs of the family and the community. However, Walensky and Leberx in 1965 gave two conceptions of social welfare that are dominant today: the residual and the institutional. The first one, residual, holds that social welfare institutions should come into play only when the normal structures of supply, the family and market break down. It implies providing services to weaker sections of the population who, because of various handicaps such as physical, mental, economic and social, are unable to make use of social services provided. The second, in contrast, sees the welfare services as normal, first line functions of modern industrial society, the majority traits of which, taken together, distinguish social welfare structure as formal organization, social sponsorship and accountability, absence of profit motive as dominant program purpose, functional generalization, integrative rather than segmental view of human needs, and direct focus on human consumption needs. Social welfare in a broad sense, as conceived by Skidmore, Thackeray and Farley in 1991, encompasses the well-being and interests of large number of people, including their physical, mental, emotional, spiritual and economic needs. Social welfare includes the services, basic institutions and processes related to facing and solving social problems. Likewise, Zestro in 1978 says, the goal of social welfare is to fulfill the social, financial, health and recreational requirements of all individuals in a society. Social welfare seeks to enhance social functioning of all age groups, both rich and poor. When other institutions in our society, such as the market economy and the family, fail at the time of meeting the basic needs of individuals or groups of people, then social services are needed and demanded. Durgabai Deshmukh, the first chairperson of Central Social Welfare Board in India, clearly said, the concept of social welfare is distinct from the general social services like education, health, etc. Social welfare is specialized work for the benefit of weaker and more vulnerable sections of the population and would include special services for the benefit of women, children, the physically handicapped, the mentally retarded and socially handicapped in various ways. We may therefore define social welfare as specifically designed system of services and institutions aimed at protecting and promoting the interest of weaker and vulnerable sections of society who, left to themselves, will not be in a position to maximally develop and effectively compete to enter the mainstream and to live with liberty, decency and dignity. Let us now look at some of the important characteristics of social welfare. First is, it is deliberately organized system of services and institutions. These services and institutions specifically cater to the varied kinds of needs of weaker and vulnerable sections of the society. Third, the weakness and vulnerability of these sections may originate not from any personal fault of people, but from different types of physical, mental, social and moral handicaps which may encounter and which may adversely affect them. Fourth, the aim of social welfare is to protect and promote the interests of these sections to enable them to optimally realize whatever potentials, talents, abilities they may have to carve out a dignified place in society and to effectively discharge the duties and responsibilities of positions which they happen to occupy. To conclude, social security is an effort on the part of the state or the employer or any other related agency to provide an individual all possible help during periods of physical distress or illness or injury, or also at the time of economic distress caused due to reduction or loss of earning on account of sickness, disability, maternity, unemployment, old age or death of the employee. It includes services intending to provide protection against contingencies of life like sickness, unemployment, old age, accident, etc. Social insurance is contributory and social assistance is non-contributory. Examples are old age pension, compensation on accidents, widow pension, etc. Social welfare in its broad sense and in the spirit includes all the interventions of the welfare and well-being of the people of the society, while in practice social welfare aims at providing services to weaker sections of the population who, because of various handicaps such as physical, mental, economic and social, are unable to make use of social services provided. Social welfare services include services for disadvantaged sections of society like children, women, aged, certain caste groups like scheduled castes in Indian context, tribal groups, other backward classes, minorities, disabled, those into substance abuse and economically underprivileged such as destitute and vagrants. Thank you very much.